How's it going, everybody? Pozermobil here, bringing you some absolute bangers that are all on sale on the PlayStation Store for the New Year deal sale that runs through February 4th. As usual, I've scoured this sale for all the full games, game bundles, and premium editions that are at the lowest price they've been in recent history, and are at least a 70 on OpenCritic or Game Rankings. So if that sounds like the kind of video you want to see, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my daily coverage of every sale that Sony puts out. I'm trying to get to 25K by the end of the year, so every bit helps. Alright, that's enough yapping for me, let's get into the video. For $9.99, Shadow of the Colossus is a breathtakingly rebuilt masterpiece that reimagines the PS2 classic with stunning visuals, improved performance, and a hauntingly beautiful atmosphere that feels both nostalgic and entirely new again thanks to its meticulous attention to detail. You play as a lone wanderer who enters a forbidden land in a desperate attempt to resurrect a loved one, striking a deal that sends you to hunt down 16 colossal beings scattered across vast, desolate landscapes. Each towering Colossus is a moving puzzle, massive, majestic, and dangerous, requiring precision, patience, and courage as you scale their bodies and discover the tragic beauty behind every encounter. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Gravity Rush 2 is a vibrant and inventive action-adventure that expands the original's gravity-defying formula with richer visuals, deeper mechanics, and an even more imaginative, expressive world full of charm, wonder, and hidden surprises. You play as Kat, the gravity-shifting queen searching for answers about her mysterious origins, as new cosmic threats endanger the very fabric of the universe alongside her trusted ally Raven. The game's gravity manipulation feels fluid and exhilarating, letting you soar, fight, and explore across a massive floating city brimming with secrets, colorful characters, and dynamic missions that reward creativity, precision, exploration, and clever problem-solving. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Resident Evil 2, the 2019 version, is a masterful reimagining of the survival horror classic that revitalizes every terrifying moment with modern visuals, tight gameplay, cinematic atmosphere, and intense suspense. Set in Raccoon City during the 1998 outbreak, rookie cop Leon Kennedy and college student Claire Redfield find themselves trapped in a city overrun by the undead, desperately searching for a way to escape. The game's third-person perspective, dynamic lighting, and gruesomely detailed environments amplify the tension, while smart inventory management, chilling sound design, and relentless enemies like the infamous Tyrant keep every encounter heart-pounding, intense, and unpredictable. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $8.99, Far Cry 5 is an open-world first-person shooter set in Hope County, Montana, where you battle the fanatical Eden's Gate cult led by the charismatic Joseph Seed, while sparking a full-scale resistance across a lawless, rural landscape. Explore the world solo or in two-player co-op, liberating regions in any order using a wide mix of guns, vehicles, aircraft, and animal companions like Cheeseburger and Boomer across forests, farmlands, rivers, and small towns. Dynamic encounters, flexible progression, emergent chaos, and varied mission approaches keep gameplay feeling fresh whether you favor stealthy takedowns, strategic planning, or explosive, over-the-top gunfights throughout the entire campaign. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Resident Evil 3, the 2020 version, is a fast-paced, intense survival horror remake that modernizes the classic with stunning visuals, refined controls, relentless tension, and a gripping, edge-of-your-seat atmosphere filled with fear and suspense throughout. You play as Jill Valentine, one of the last survivors in Raccoon City, navigating the chaos unleashed by the Umbrella Corporation while facing the unstoppable bioweapon Nemesis at every turn. The game combines tight combat, strategic resource management, and cinematic set pieces with a constantly looming sense of danger, as every corner could hide deadly enemies and unpredictable encounters that push your skills and nerves to the limit. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition is an expansive, award-winning open-world RPG that combines deep storytelling, player freedom, and post-apocalyptic adventure across the wasteland. You play as the sole survivor of Vault 111, tasked with exploring a devastated world, rebuilding society, and deciding the fate of multiple factions vying for power, with every choice shaping your journey. The game offers robust character customization, tactical first or third-person combat with VATS, and an extensive crafting and settlement building system, letting you create weapons, armor, and thriving communities while exploring a massive, dynamic world teeming with danger and opportunity. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Resident Evil Village is a chilling survival horror experience that blends classic tension with modern gameplay, delivering a terrifying, suspenseful, and unforgettable journey through a mysterious, fear-filled world. Set a few years after Resident Evil 7, Ethan Winters and his wife Mia are trying to live peacefully in a remote village, but their fragile tranquility is shattered when new horrors and deadly threats emerge, forcing Ethan to confront nightmarish creatures and unravel dark secrets. The game combines intense combat, exploration, puzzles, and environmental storytelling with a richly detailed world and haunting atmosphere that keep every encounter thrilling and unpredictable. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $8.99, Bully is a hilarious and rebellious open-world adventure that mixes Rockstar's signature humor, original gameplay, and a satirical, over-the-top look at school life full of mischief and chaos. You play as Jimmy Hopkins, a mischievous teenager navigating the corrupt and chaotic Bulworth Academy, standing up to bullies, scheming against rivals, and dealing with the absurdities of students, teachers, and faculty alike, while uncovering secrets around every corner. The game combines exploration, missions, minigames, and over-the-top antics with a charming story, letting you prank, fight, and outsmart your way through the school year while discovering the joys and challenges of teenage life. It's an 87 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $7.49, Journey is a visually stunning and emotionally captivating adventure that takes you across vast deserts, ancient ruins, and mysterious landscapes in search of hidden secrets, forgotten histories, and transcendence beyond imagination. Travel alone or encounter a fellow player in a unique online co-op experience, communicating wordlessly as you explore, solve environmental puzzles, and overcome obstacles together with subtle, graceful interaction. With breathtaking graphics, a Grammy-nominated musical score, and elegant, fluid gameplay, every moment in Journey evokes wonder, serenity, and a profound sense of discovery that leaves a lasting impression on the heart and mind. It's a 93 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $6.39, Final Fantasy VII is a legendary, genre-defining turn-based RPG that follows Cloud Strife and the rebel group Avalanche in their fight against the corrupt Shinra Corporation and the vengeful Sephiroth. Journey across a richly detailed, expansive world powered by Mako energy, from the industrial sprawl of Midgard to snowy mountain peaks, ancient temples, and hidden laboratories filled with secrets, while forging deep bonds with unforgettable characters, uncovering tragic pasts, and confronting profound questions of identity, destiny, and sacrifice. Its cinematic storytelling, immersive world-building, and innovative materia combat system help define an era of gaming history. It's a 92 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $8.99, Scarlet Nexus is a stylish, futuristic action RPG set in a distant world where humanity's discovery of a psionic hormone grants incredible psychic abilities that reshape society forever. When grotesque, brain-hungry creatures known as the Others descend from the sky, elite psionics form the Other Suppression Force to defend what's left of civilization, and you'll experience this battle through the eyes of Yuito Sumeragi or Kasani Randall, two gifted soldiers whose intertwined journeys unravel a mind-bending story of fate, loyalty, and human evolution. Combat blends fast-paced melee attacks with telekinetic powers, letting you hurl objects, chain combos, and unleash psychic devastation. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $7.99, The Evil Within 2 is a gripping, atmospheric survival horror from legendary director Shinji Mikami, following Detective Sebastian Castellanos as he descends once again into the warped world of STEM to rescue his lost daughter. The decaying cityscape constantly shifts between dream and nightmare, testing your sanity as grotesque creatures lurk in the dark and twisted memories resurface, while you explore semi-open environments filled with hidden dangers and scarce supplies, balancing stealth, traps, and brutal gunfights in a desperate fight to survive. Craft gear, upgrade abilities, and uncover disturbing truths that connect Sebastian's trauma to the horrors he faces. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 45 hours to platinum. For $7.49, Assassin's Creed Unity sends you to 1789 Paris as the French Revolution erupts, following Arno on a personal quest for redemption that pulls him into conspiracies shaping the nation's violent upheaval. You'll free run across rooftops, slip through packed crowds, and infiltrate grand landmarks recreated with stunning historical detail, using stealth, parkour, and refined close-quarters combat to uncover hidden factions, expose secrets, and the forces manipulating the city's violent collapse. With dense urban exploration, cooperative missions, and a dramatic narrative centered on loyalty, betrayal, and revolution, it's a stylish return to classic Assassin's Creed fundamentals. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Cult of the Lamb is a darkly charming roguelike management game where you play as a possessed lamb building a devoted cult, spreading your influence, recruiting followers, and crushing heretics across a mysterious, ever-changing, dangerous world. Explore procedurally generated regions, collect resources, construct buildings, perform rituals, and trade in your woodland followers, all while embarking on dangerous crusades that blend combat, exploration, and clever tactical decision-making. The Unholy Alliance update adds local co-op with the GOAT, new tarot cards, relics, corrupted weapons, and follower traits, enhancing both strategy and replayability for solo and co-op play. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $5.99, Prey is a deeply atmospheric sci-fi thriller that strands you aboard Talos 1, a massive high-tech research station orbiting the moon in 2032. You awaken as the central subject of a dangerous experiment gone horribly wrong, unleashing a shape-shifting alien threat known as the Typhon that turns every corridor, lab, and maintenance shaft into a deadly, unpredictable maze, while you explore the sprawling, interconnected station where every object, vent, and datapad hides vital secrets, fragments of your identity, and haunting revelations about humanity's ambition and hubris. Craft weapons, upgrade neuromod abilities, and use inventive strategies to survive encounters that demand both skill and cunning. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 45 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition is an epic RPG that blends rich storytelling, strategic combat, and a vast, immersive world full of danger, intrigue, and memorable characters across multiple sprawling regions. You play as the Inquisitor, leading a team of unique companions on a perilous quest to save Thedas, where every choice and dialogue decision can dramatically shape the story, relationships, and the fate of the realm. Featuring deep tactical combat, character customization, and massive exploration, this edition also includes all expansions, Jaws of Hakan, The Descent, and Trespasser, plus deluxe upgrades, legendary gear, mounts, and Skyhold enhancements. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $9.99, WipeOut Omega Collection brings together all the content from WipeOut HD, WipeOut HD Fury, and WipeOut 2048, fully enhanced for modern consoles. Experience blistering high-speed anti-gravity racing across futuristic tracks, mastering tight turns, jumps, and intense combat against rival pilots, while utilizing an array of weapons, power-ups, and advanced tactics to dominate the leaderboard and outmaneuver every single opponent in fast-paced, adrenaline-fueled races at breakneck speeds. The collection features reworked textures, improved graphical effects, and HDR for enhanced contrast, making every ship, track, and detail sharper, smoother, and more immersive than ever before. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $7.49, Owlboy is a story-driven platform adventure where you take flight as Otis, a mute young owl, exploring a vibrant world in the clouds and recruiting friends to aid you in battle, puzzle solving, and strategic combat across diverse, beautifully crafted environments. You'll navigate perilous skies, overcome obstacles, face challenging enemies, and delve into monster-infested ruins while uncovering secrets, unexpected encounters, and a heartfelt story about courage, responsibility, and friendship that spans multiple engaging chapters. Featuring gorgeous pixel landscapes, challenging bosses, and heartfelt storytelling, this adventure rewards exploration and careful teamwork at every turn. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Tekken 7 is a fast-paced, competitive fighting game that brought the iconic franchise to next-gen consoles for the first time with stunning Unreal Engine 4 visuals and richly detailed arenas. With its classic 3D battle system, you'll master a diverse roster of fighters, each with unique moves, devastating combos, and distinct playstyles, while engaging in intense, high-octane one-on-one battles enhanced by new mechanics, cinematic rage arts, and strategic counterattacks that add depth, strategy, and excitement to both casual matches and high-level tournament play. Tekken 7 perfectly captures the showmanship, attitude, and arcade-rooted spirit that has defined the series for decades. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $6.24, Blasphemous is a punishing action platformer that combines fast-paced hack-and-slash combat with a dark, haunting narrative set in the cursed land of Custodia. You play as the Penitent One, the sole survivor of the Silent Sorrow Massacre, trapped in a cycle of death and rebirth, seeking to uncover the origin of the miracle while exploring twisted, sprawling, non-linear environments filled with grotesque monsters, deadly traps, and epic bosses, and collecting relics, rosary beads, and prayers to enhance your abilities. Combat is brutal and precise, with devastating combos, gory executions, and deep customization that lets you tailor your approach to Custodia's horrors. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $8.74, Far Cry Primal Digital Apex Edition is an open-world action-adventure set in the brutal Stone Age, where humanity fights to survive against nature, hostile wildlife, and rival tribes. You explore the land of Oros, crafting weapons, taming deadly beasts, and hunting massive animals while navigating unpredictable encounters, dynamic ecosystems, and intense tribal warfare in a raw sandbox built around survival and dominance. This edition includes the Legend of the Mammoth missions, the Blood Shasti Club, multiple enhancement packs, and a free 60 FPS update, expanding progression, visual fluidity, and smoothing combat while reinforcing the fantasy of becoming the apex predator. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5.99, Far Cry 4 is an open-world first-person shooter that drops you into the stunning yet dangerous Himalayan region of Karat, ruled by the charismatic and ruthless dictator Pagan Min. Explore a vast, vertical landscape filled with enemy outposts, unpredictable wildlife encounters, and dynamic side activities, using a huge arsenal of weapons, vehicles, and animals to approach every situation your own way, whether stealthy, tactical, or explosively chaotic. With branching choices, optional co-op support, and the signature emergent madness that defines the Far Cry formula, Karat becomes a living playground of freedom, rebellion, violence, and unforgettable moments that constantly evolve as you play. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Astro Bot Rescue Mission is an inventive, VR-exclusive platformer that puts you in the role of Astro, the heroic captain bot, on a thrilling mission to save fellow bots scattered across colorful, imaginative, and intricately designed worlds filled with secrets, challenges, and creative obstacles. Navigate dynamic levels packed with clever puzzles, hidden collectibles, and tricky enemies while using the immersive capabilities of PlayStation VR to look, aim, and interact with the environment. With charming visuals, precise controls, dynamic camera perspectives, and a sense of scale that only VR can provide, every rescue mission feels epic, playful, and endlessly engaging. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy is the ultimate collection of Lara Croft's origin adventures, combining all the definitive editions of the critically acclaimed prequels into one epic journey. Traverse the mysterious island of Yamatai, brave the frozen Siberian tundra, and explore the perilous mountains of Peru as Laura hones her survival skills, solves intricate puzzles, and faces deadly enemies across breathtaking cinematic environments. With expanded content, improved visuals, and countless hours of exploration and combat, this trilogy lets you experience Lara's transformation from fledgling adventurer to the legendary Tomb Raider the world knows today. It's an 84 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 95 hours to get all 3 platinums. For $9.89, Mega Man Zero and ZX Legacy Collection is a 6-game bundle that brings together the full Zero and ZX storyline in one tight package, delivering fast 2D action, precise combat, and challenging boss encounters across connected maps and story-heavy missions. You'll slash, shoot, and chain mobility skills through all 6 campaigns, while unlocking art, music, visual filters, and handy assists like casual scenario mode and save assist that make the experience smoother without sacrificing the series' trademark difficulty or style. The exclusive Z Chaser mode adds a fun competitive layer with time attack races, split path strategies, and leaderboard challenges that reward mastery. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Alien Isolation, The Collection, is a chilling survival horror experience that includes the full game and 7 additional content packs, blending tense stealth gameplay with an atmosphere of relentless dread, deadly, unpredictable encounters, and heart-pounding suspense. 15 years after the events of Alien, you play as Amanda Ripley, who must unravel the truth behind her mother's disappearance while navigating a desperate, panicked world filled with hostile humans and a single, nearly unstoppable alien. Scavenge resources, craft improvised tools, and use stealth, strategy, and cunning to survive in claustrophobic, haunting environments where every choice and action could mean life or death. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $8.99, Red Dead Revolver is an arcade-style third-person shooter set in a vast, lawless Wild West driven by revenge and justice. You play as a hardened bounty hunter using precision gunplay, dead-eye duels, and fast-paced combat across stylized, score-based levels that emphasize action over realism while delivering a classic, pulpy tale of vengeance on the untamed frontier filled with ruthless shootouts. With memorable characters, varied gameplay challenges, and a distinctive arcade structure built around mastery and replayability, the experience blends cinematic storytelling with old-school intensity, now enhanced with full 1080p up-rendering for modern displays. It's a 75 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $9.99, Pentiment is a beautifully illustrated narrative adventure set in 16th century Bavaria, blending historical intrigue, murder mysteries, and political upheaval with handcrafted art inspired by illuminated manuscripts and early printed books. You play as Andreas Mahler, a master artist caught in scandals, investigations, and social conflicts, navigating a world where every choice, from dialogue to alliances, shapes the unfolding story in surprising and meaningful ways. Explore the Bavarian town of Tassing and nearby Kearsarge Abbey, interact with a richly drawn cast of characters, and uncover secrets that reveal the complexity and turbulence of this pivotal historical period. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $7.49, Far Cry 3 Classic Edition is a first-person shooter set on the dangerous Rook Islands, where Jason Brody must survive against pirates, mercenaries, and deadly wildlife while exploring a lush, living ecosystem. You can tackle missions stealthily with knives and silenced weapons, or go full assault with guns, explosives, and vehicles like dune buggies, jet skis, and hang gliders, while side missions, crafting, and outpost liberation expand gameplay and offer endless replayability. Unlock 3 skill trees, Spider, Shark, and Heron, to improve stealth, combat, and long-range abilities, all while experiencing unscripted events, minigames, and a cinematic story of survival in humanity's dark side. It's an 89 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $8.99, Max Payne is a gritty, story-driven third-person shooter following a fugitive cop framed for murder, struggling to clear his name while uncovering the truth behind his slain family amid New York's violent streets during a brutal, unforgiving blizzard. You navigate dark urban environments, facing mobsters, corrupt cops, and twisted thugs, while utilizing the iconic bullet time mechanic to slow action, dodge bullets, and unleash cinematic, stylish gunplay that redefine the shooter genre. With a relentless narrative full of plot twists, noir-inspired storytelling, intense combat sequences, the game blends intense action, emotional stakes, and unforgettable atmosphere. It's an 89 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 25 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $7.49, CrossCode is a retro-inspired 2D action RPG that masterfully blends 16-bit SNES-style graphics with smooth physics, fast-paced combat, and intricate puzzle mechanics wrapped in a gripping sci-fi story full of twists, secrets, and memorable characters. Explore dungeons filled with challenging puzzles, uncover a variety of equipment, and master skills that let you exploit enemy weaknesses in strategic, fast-paced battles requiring sharp reflexes and smart positioning. With deep customization, satisfying progression, and a perfect balance between action-adventure and RPG elements, CrossCode delivers a nostalgic yet fresh gameplay experience that keeps you engaged from start to finish. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $7.99, Unpacking is a cozy puzzle decorating game where you pull treasured belongings out of moving boxes and organize them into warm, lived-in spaces that quietly reveal the life behind the objects. You'll place books on shelves, stack dishes, hang clothes, and arrange personal keepsakes across 8 different moves, creating a seamless blend of tactile block-fitting puzzles and environmental storytelling that grows richer as the years pass. The game uses its gentle interactions, charming pixel art, and beautifully layered sound design to tell an emotional narrative without dialogue, showing how our character changes through the things she brings with her and the things she leaves behind. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $9.89, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is a definitive fighting game compilation celebrating 3 decades of the iconic franchise, featuring 12 titles from the Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, and Alpha series. Relive the classic arcade experience with online arcade mode, or challenge friends in online lobbies across 4 of the most definitive entries, mastering unique fighters, combos, and special moves in both casual and competitive battles. The collection also includes a museum with timelines, character sprites, and behind-the-scenes design documents, giving fans an in-depth look at the evolution of the series and its legendary world warriors. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $9.89, World of Final Fantasy is a charming, turn-based RPG set in a vibrant, stylized world where you capture, customize, and evolve iconic monsters, stacking them into adorable yet strategic towers to battle a wide variety of challenging foes. Explore colorful environments, solve puzzles, and uncover secrets while interacting with familiar characters and locations from across the Final Fantasy universe, all reimagined in a whimsical, accessible style full of humor and heart. Combat blends traditional mechanics with stacking strategy, letting you experiment with monster combinations, elemental strengths, and tactical approaches to overcome increasingly challenging encounters. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $8.99, The Warriors is a gritty third-person beat-em-up that adapts the cult classic film into a brutal, story-driven journey through the streets of 1979 New York, filled with neon-lit alleys, dark subway tunnels, and chaotic rooftops. Fight your way across the city as the wrongly accused warriors, brawling rival gangs with fists, melee weapons, and raw street tactics while switching between characters and surviving relentless ambushes across hostile neighborhoods. With a heavy focus on gang loyalty, cinematic storytelling, and mission-based progression, the game expands the film's world through side stories, character backstories, and escalating urban chaos that never lets up. It's an 84 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $9.99, Yakuza Like a Dragon Hero Edition is an RPG where you play Ichiban Kasuga, a low-ranking Yakuza betrayed by the man he trusted most, who must rise from obscurity to uncover the shocking truth behind his family's destruction and become a hero for Yokohama's outcasts. Switch between 19 unique jobs, recruit up to 7 party members, and master over 100 combat skills, while bashing foes with bats, umbrellas, bikes, and street signs in dynamic, turn-based battles. Explore the bustling city, complete 50 sub-stories, enjoy over 15 minigames, strengthen party bonds to unlock powerful abilities, and take advantage of the Job Set and Management Mode Set DLC for expanded gameplay. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $5.99, South Park: The Stick of Truth is a hilarious RPG where you join Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny on an epic quest to become cool, battling underpants gnomes, hippies, and other outrageous enemies, while discovering the lost stick of truth and navigating bizarre, hilarious situations across South Park. Customize your character with countless combinations, recruit classic South Park friends, and wield magical weapons and mystical armor in turn-based combat that perfectly captures the irreverent humor of the series. Written and voiced by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, this adventure delivers authentic South Park comedy, over-the-top battles, and a wildly interactive, delightfully absurd world. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $6.89, the Unravel Yarny Bundle includes Unravel and Unravel 2, charming physics-based puzzle platformers where you guide lovable Yarny characters crafted from a single thread of yarn through beautifully detailed environments that slowly unravel as you progress. In Unravel, experience a heartfelt solo journey filled with clever puzzles and environmental storytelling, while Unravel 2 introduces co-op gameplay, allowing you to create a second Yarny, solve intricate puzzles together, and navigate challenges that emphasize cooperation and creativity. These games combine stunning visuals, touching narratives, and inventive mechanics for a delightful, family-friendly adventure. It's a 79 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 30 hours to get both platinums. For $8.99, Manhunt is a stealth-based horror action game where you play James Earl Cash, a man forced into a deadly game of survival in Carcer City, a decaying Rust Belt town where violence is entertainment and no one is safe. Run, hide, and fight to survive against ruthless gangs, corrupt law enforcement, and hunters who will kill for sport, using improvised weapons, the environment, and stealth tactics to outsmart and eliminate your pursuers in tense, grisly encounters. With a dark, oppressive atmosphere, cinematic tension, and increasingly brutal challenges, every decision can mean life or death as you navigate the city's twisted streets and uncover the truth behind your torment. It's a 77 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, about 25 hours to platinum. For $5.99, Dishonored: Death of the Outsider is a stealth action adventure where you play Billy Lurk, a former killer-for-hire reunited with mentor Dodd, embarking on the ultimate assassination mission to eliminate the godlike outsider, confront his mysterious powers, and uncover his dark secrets. Explore the grimy streets, rooftops, and hidden alleyways of Karnaca, use supernatural abilities and inventive gadgets to outwit deadly opponents, and make morally complex decisions that shape the fate of the city and its unsuspecting inhabitants. With tense stealth, fluid traversal, intense confrontations, and a gripping narrative, every choice carries weight in this immersive, high-stakes adventure. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $9.99, Moss Book 2 is a charming and immersive action adventure where Quill is hunted by those seeking the powerful glass she protects, and you must guide her to save the beautifully crafted world of Moss from a dark and relentless threat. You'll explore the hexed castle of the Arcane, solving intricate puzzles, overcoming dangerous terrain, and battling enemies twisted in fire and steel, all while forming bonds with new allies, reconnecting with old friends, and uncovering hidden secrets along the way. With intuitive VR controls, clever level design, and cooperative problem solving, you'll feel like a true partner in Quill's journey, shaping her destiny and rising together to legendary heroism. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $8.69, Romancing Saga 3 is a celebrated RPG classic making its Western debut, where you choose one of 8 unique protagonists to embark on an epic, destiny-shaping adventure shaped by your choices, exploring a richly detailed world threatened by the cyclical rise of Morastrum. Experience optimized HD graphics, a new dungeon, additional scenarios, and a new Game Plus feature, while navigating a narrative filled with powerful enemies, ancient mysteries, and morally complex decisions that determine the fate of humanity and the world itself. This remastered edition blends strategic turn-based combat, deep character customization, and a sprawling, choice-driven story for a timeless, engaging RPG experience. It's an 83 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $9.99, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is a high-octane action game where you join Luffy and his crew to battle hordes of enemies across destructible battlefields inspired by the anime, including towering forts, bustling towns, and iconic islands from the series. Experience dynamic combat with massive attacks, cinematic effects, and chaotic encounters that throw buildings, smoke, and debris into the fray, making every fight feel epic, immersive, and unpredictable. With a roster of iconic characters, cooperative gameplay, and thrilling story missions lifted directly from the anime, this latest entry elevates the Pirate Warriors formula while delivering fast-paced, chaotic fun for fans and newcomers alike. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $7.99, Mega Man X Legacy Collection is a compilation of the legendary Mega Man X series, letting you play through 4 classic titles, X, X2, X3, and X4, battling deadly mavericks, stealing their weapons, and mastering dashes, wall jumps, and fast-paced, precision-based combat across intricate, action-packed levels. The game features challenging, intricately designed stages filled with traps, enemies, hidden secrets, and epic boss battles that test skill and timing at every turn. Explore modern additions like X Challenge Mode, where you face 2 bosses at once, and dive into the massive museum filled with rare production art, classic merchandise, nostalgic commercials, and behind-the-scenes content. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $6.24, Vanquish is a fast-paced sci-fi shooter where you play Space DARPA agent Sam Gideon, tasked with infiltrating the solar-powered colony Providence after it's taken over by a mutinous faction using advanced destructive technology to devastate Earth's cities. Equipped with the experimental blade system that can scan, copy, and store up to 3 weapons, engage in high-octane combat against legions of futuristic foes, utilize acrobatic maneuvers and strategic cover, and disable the energy transmitter threatening humanity's survival. With intense action, futuristic weaponry, and relentless enemy encounters, every mission delivers thrilling, high-speed shooting challenges full of tension and excitement. It's an 84 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sales stuff that I put out. Leave a like and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.